special guest host, the wonderful, the incomparable darling Nikki. Give her a round of applause. Bring her into the building. Give her the building. Yeah, let's bring
Hi.
her to the building. Let's go. What's good?
Hi.
Appreciate
I'm
you.
back.
Appreciate you giving off some of your time to come through and hang out with me, man. I'm partnerless today. And my key had to
I
take a
love
step
that you're
away.
outside in nature today. I
You
hear
see
your
me,
birds
right?
chirping. I love this for
Yeah, man.
you.
I'm with nature. I'm at peace. So I gotta be with nature, and it's nice as fuck. First and
It's
foremost,
beautiful.
it's nice.
I
I don't know
heard.
what
I
it's
was
like.
just, I was just there visiting out there and it was like in the
Mm-hmm.
70s and it was wonderful. And here it's like 98 degrees in
Sheesh.
Dallas and
You
humid
keep
and
that.
muggy. And
You can
yeah,
keep that.
everyone wants to die. I need leave in
It's
conditioner for these curls, which are surprisingly popping today, by the way.
I don't need that. So
Um,
I just got my shit in the bun. I gotta keep the hair off the back of the neck. You know what I'm saying? Keep the hair off the
uh-huh,
neck. We
uh-huh.
don't want to get sweaty. You know what I mean? So I wanna jump right into it. Right? I just want to ask you a question today. Do you
Oh
feel
God.
like you're free? Do you feel like you live in the land of the free? Does it feel free to you right now?
No.
No.
And I'll
Why not?
say no. I will say yes and no. I'll
Mm,
say yes because we do have a lot of freedoms that some other countries just don't have, as a woman, especially. So
facts,
I think
facts.
that
Okay.
we still need to consider those things. However, we're still kind of digressing to a time where we fought to be away from. So where we are in the climate of America right now is crazy. I can't even believe that the issues that I'm seeing that I come across are
Mm,
even a conversation because I try not to watch the news. I try to stay away from it because I get too passionate. Ever
yeah.
since George Floyd, I do not watch the news. I was so stressed
Damn.
out in the house when that happened because it was during the pandemic and everybody was stuck in the house and all you heard was just this news feed constantly going about his story and other
Yeah.
things that were going on in the civil unrest. And it was causing me so much anxiety. And I was like, this is not good for my mental health. I'm locked up in a house. I think the contagion is outside. If I go outside, I'm going to get sick and die, like, because of the
Oh my
pandemic.
god.
So I was
That's
just, it was a
crazy.
lot. Yeah, it was a lot. So I think with where we are now, it still is very scary. It's very, very scary.
I want to say that we still live in the land of the free because we are able to sit here and have this conversation, right? For now, I will
Yes.
say for now.
Hmm.
On other platforms, it's not as nice. I've been banned from TikTok 3 times. For
Why?
speaking out because you got
Oh,
to
for
do
your
certain
content?
catchphrases. Yeah, you say certain things, you got to be quiet. So what I do now is I just go live and I just work out. That way I'm not talking. I'm just lifting weights, being a meathead, and you don't got to hear me say anything because I don't want any problems. I will say that
Hmm.
we are in the land of the free because you can voice your opinion in opposition to leadership right now. So that does say free, but also you have to worry about being in fear of voicing your opinion, which kind of doesn't feel free, which is kind of strange to me.
Right. So is it free though?
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
is
the
it
illusion of
free?
free.
It's like,
It's
okay,
the
I'm gonna give you
illusion of free.
it's an illusion free because
It's the illusion of
think
free.
about it. If your parents said, go ahead and stay up late and see what happens, what does that mean to you?
I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna
Thank
whoop
you.
your ass.
You still have a
It's like your
choice.
it's
You
like your
don't
girl
like
said,
it.
you could go fuck that bitch. Go ahead, see what happens. You're like,
That's it. Are
I
you
could
really
do it,
free though?
but it'll be all right. This is my thing, right? My key is out there in Cali. He's actually in LA. And I really wanted to get his opinion on what was going on out there right now with the ICE raids and the arrest
Yeah, I heard it
violence
was
and the
really
protests.
bad over there.
And that in itself says this is a free country because where else in the world, maybe Trinidad and Tobago, they could kick up because they kick up, but where else can people gather en masse against a government entity and in some pockets win? Where else? Where else but
Hmm.
in America this can happen? All over the country there were protests and there were even in New York, they was backing ICE down, sending them back inside. Like, yo, I ain't taking nobody. This a dude in Newark just uploaded a video. He did his 1-2 step with ice. Help my man's get in his vehicle and dip off. So it's where else in other countries you're gonna be killed for doing shit like this. So is
Hmm.
this not free? Does that not say this is still the land of the free?
I mean, the idea of it is free, yes. I think that
Right.
people have the wrong impression of what freedom is. And at the end of the day, you're free to an extent because there's always someone still controlling what you do. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I still have to get up and go to work every day. I don't want to do that. I still got to pay taxes. I didn't sign up for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things that I want longer than a 45-minute lunch break. I don't got control over that. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you have the choice of where you work, you have the choice of where you can go, you have the choice of certain things, of course, but you're not controlled to the point where you don't have access to social media like in some Asian countries where there's
Right.
no social media and there's no access to this and that. Whereas
Right.
we don't have access to healthy foods.
Yeah, we're
We just
purposely being
don't.
fed the worst shit. We're
Exactly.
purposely being
We
fed
are
the
set up
worst
in a
type stuff.
hamster. Yes, we're set up in a hamster wheel of failure, in my opinion. It's a cycle for the people who have the control of the marionette dolls versus the people
Mm.
that are doing the moving, because there should be no reason that we have, for
That's not.
example, a $50,000 bill, like
Yeah.
medical bill, excuse me, let me take that back, a $30,000 bill to have a baby. Like, I will have
Where
a bill
you
if I
pay
wanted
to
to have
be
a
born and
baby.
you pay to die. You pay to be born and you pay to die. You pay to
That's
come into this
crazy.
world, you pay to go out. And
Hmm.
I think that in itself is like the real mind fuck, right? Because like look at it this way. Like just what you just said. You don't want to have to get up to go to work. And
No,
this is
I
where the
don't want to.
illusion this is where the illusion of freedom comes, right? But the illusion of freedom comes with real consequences, and they're always negative. You don't have to go to work, but if you don't go to work, you won't have anywhere to live. You don't go to work, you won't have anything to eat. You don't have to follow the rules of law set by man, but if you don't, you'll be incarcerated and or lose your life. So the the opposite of it, the opposite of true freedom is failure, death, incarceration, pauperism, and starvation.
Hmm.
So you're not ever truly free. And then you say, "Oh well, no, I live off the grid." Okay, let's pretend you live off the grid. You had to pay to get that land at some point, and then
Unfortunately, yes.
the government that is empowered over you can still seize your land with eminent domain
That's why
whenever
you're
they so
not free.
choose, and you're not
That's what
free.
makes you not free. Because if
Hmm.
someone else has a choice to make a decision about shit that you own, that's crazy.
Right, it's not yours.
Yeah. And
See,
I tell
I
people,
will.
like I told you, I work in lending. I'm like, listen, go
Yeah.
ahead, don't pay your taxes and see if you really own that house. See if you own that house.
Look, I will say this, right? I'll ask you a question. If you I'm dressed the way I am right now, right? And I you don't know me from a hole in the wall, right? That's actually a weird analogy, a hole in the wall. It's like a glory hole. Who would wanna anyways, I'm falling apart.
I think that's where that came from. You
Yeah,
don't know me from the
glory hole,
hole
yeah,
in the
hole in the
wall.
wall. Like
You
it's
don't know
crazy.
who's on
I
the
was
other
thinking
side,
anything.
bro.
That's brave. But I
Word.
digress. I come to your home with two other gentlemen and I tell you you have to pay taxes on your home. I will take a certain percentage of your gross monthly income towards a fund that's going to help me protect you so you can keep your home. You're going to look at me like, what type of extortion shit is this, right? You're going to look
It's
at me
called
crazy. Get the fuck out of
racketeering.
here. Right. But yet somehow I put on a suit. I have a nice little official looking badge, some stamps on there. I ain't work for
Some
the
stamps on
government.
there.
I ain't
Some
work for the
holographic
government.
shiny shit.
Yeah, I need some taxes. Now all of a sudden it's legal and it's okay. I I think true freedom, right? What true freedom looks like is what the animal kingdom is. That's true freedom, right? That's like the truest form of freedom. I guess we're
Kill or
not
be
able to
killed.
accomplish that because we're higher forms of beings, right? We have that frontal lobe and we're Homo sapiens sapiens and we think and all of this
We
crap.
have opposable thumbs.
I mean,
We
I'm
can
telling you
make
right now,
things.
man. Yeah, I guess, but we've only made a lot of more fucking problems. We've created more headaches. We've created more problems. Why do we have to? We're the only species on the planet that pays to live where we live.
I'll tell you
that
why.
fight over the things that we have. I mean, it
Yeah.
happens in the animal kingdom. Absolutely, it does happen in the animal kingdom. Of course, that's a territorial thing. But I don't see a lion taking. I don't see a gazelle taking a lion to court for damages. You know what I mean? Like that motherfucker gets away. He's not
Like
gonna
I got
turn around like I'm gonna
PTSD.
sue him. Yeah, like he's not like I'm gonna sue him. I can't go to the watering hole anymore because this shit happened to me. Like it doesn't happen.
I feel like
I
I was
think
bullied.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like I ran and I sprained my ankle. I can no longer work as a gazelle. Like I can't frolic anymore. Like it doesn't happen. So it's like we want freedom and we scream freedom and you scream land of the free, but then you look at the multitude of people that are oppressed and stepped on and pushed aside so the 1% can stay rich. And then you say to yourself, am I free? And then you say, no, you're still learning free because you guys are having this conversation. Okay, what happens when too much questions arise from the masses? What do we get? Super Bowl, NHL, March Madness. The Romans did that, right? If you give them entertainment, bread, and meat, they'll forget that they're poor and starving.
Hmm.
Give them entertainment. And I feel like that's what
Yeah,
we're
and it's
having
like
right now.
$300 just to go to a football game, and who can afford that right now?
Yo,
You used to
somebody
be able
asked
to
me
go
to
to a game for $50.
somebody asked me to go to Kendrick Lamar concert, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm down, man. What's the ticket? 700. Nope.
Hard
Nope.
pass.
Nope. That's a car note, my man. It's a car note and insurance all put together in one bundle. No. So
I mean, 700 is a lot to give away for something like that. That's not a necessity.
I put it on my kid. That's about it. That's the only person I would spend 700
Yeah, and that doesn't count
Yeah, you know what I'm
because your
saying?
kid needs those things in
Not
most
really, man.
cases.
Not really. I still stand on fuck them kids. I still stand on that. Like I'm gonna get me a
This
shirt
is why
made
we're
that to say,
friends.
yeah, I'm gonna just have to get a shirt to say, man, fuck them kids. You know
Oh,
what I'm
speaking
saying?
about kids, happy Father's Day.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank
Happy
you. I feel
belated
like,
Father's Day. Did you get
yeah,
some fun gifts and some
yeah.
presents?
I got a surround sound system that I
Okay.
had to put together, which is what the fuck. I thought the whole point of Father's Day was for us to not do nothing. Like how I get
That's
a,
what me and my friends were talking about. They kept
you know what I
saying,
mean?
like,
Like
my significant other was like, listen, Father's Day is a sham. Like, they'll give you a grill and tell you to go cook on it. Like,
yeah, like I got the surround system. I'm sitting here like, okay, put slot A and a B, coaxial cable into optical port. I'm like, come on, man. I'm supposed to be able to be relaxing on this
but it's
motherfucker.
man things. Isn't that things that y'all like to do? Man things?
The
I don't
fuck
know.
no. No, let me tell you something. I know how to do many of things. I choose to not do it. All right. When I moved into my house, I had to set up the blinds. I bitched and complained about doing these damn blinds so much. I'm like, I'm just gonna pay somebody to do this shit. And then, because of what society does to us, I said, you know what? If I pay somebody to do this, this man is gonna come in my house and set up my blinds and look at me like I'm not a man. Because I don't know how to put up no damn blinds. Fuck that. And I put up all the blinds in the house. Because I know how to do it, but it's just I don't want to do it. I know how.
Oh,
I
no.
just don't want to
There's
do it.
lots of things I don't want to do, honey.
Yeah, I would choose to. So once again, we come back to that.
Yeah.
To those of you who are getting up every day, going to work, coming back home, ask yourself, am I free? Because if you were free, the choice would literally be yours and there would be no repercussions to your choice. But the way life is structured and built and the way our civilization is put together, there are always negative consequences when you go against what has been built for you, right? That's where we're the slaves. I feel like we're still, I feel like to me, I feel like we are, okay, here's a fun analogy. Say you have a bird and you have this bird from the time the bird was hatched, it's been in this cage. It's only known this cage. It loves this cage. It's a big ass cage, right? But it loves this cage. One day, one day you build a bigger apiary over that, and you see, you know what? I'm just gonna open the cage. Now you got a bigger space. The bird says, "Holy shit! I'm free!" Just flying around and shit. But it's such a large apiary, it does not know there is an end. So to the bird, it believes it's no longer in a cage. I feel like that's how we are.
Oh, kind of like
We
Hunger Games or something.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you want to shoot an arrow to the roof and shit, I don't know if you want to get on
Like
your
if you
Katniss
think you're
Everdeen
free
shit.
and then you have, yes, you think you're free, but then the whole time people are just giving you, telling you what you
Right,
should and shouldn't be doing. Yeah.
right. Like you look at like think about this. We are in a bigger cage and we don't even realize it. Because what do we need to travel? We need permission to travel. Quiet is kept. We need permission. Permission is your passport. Permission is that other country accepting you in. So you're really just traveling from one locale to another, but you're still in your giant cage and you're just unaware of your cage. So you think you're free, but you're not. And that's a like to me, that's such a mind fuck. Why
It
should we
is.
have
It's
to
it's
pay to
it's
go places? Why should we have to pay? Why shouldn't I say, man, I
I
want to
feel
go
like
to
you shouldn't
Greece?
have to pay for health care. Like you
Oh
shouldn't
God,
have to pay to
why
live.
should we? Why?
Like to be healthy. If I'm sick and dying or something's wrong with me, then I shouldn't have to pay to go to the doctor and
No.
have this doctor tell me what's wrong. Like I understand it's a profession, so don't get me wrong
Got it.
there.
I get it. I
I do feel
respect it.
like you should make some money off of it, but I shouldn't be denied service because I have a serious medical ailment and or put into so much debt that I'm going to need a damn padded room to get myself out of this.
Yo,
Because people
it
experience that and it's not, or trying to get health care. That's my homeboy who off that CEO for United Healthcare. Like these
yeah.
people are unruly and it's not fair. If you're gonna
And
have the same type of things and put things like 10 commandments in classrooms, you need to have morals in
yeah,
business. Seriously.
yeah, yeah. No,
And
no, you're
and the
right.
response is, oh, this is business. No, it's not business. This is inhumane. It's
This is
crazy.
business. This is
That's the
business.
response that a lot of people give when it comes to business. It's cutthroat, especially in sales. That's the response you always get. And I feel like now in this society, because I've been in sales, sales is a little less cutthroat than it used to be back in the day.
Mm,
But there would be people that would smile in your face and turn around and take your deal and take your customer and have you thinking everything's fine. Like Jerry
that's
Maguire.
dark. Show me the money. I
Hmm.
can't do sales. I feel like if I was into sales, I somebody tried to shortchange me on a sale, we gonna fight in the parking lot. Like
It's definitely angry.
we
Yeah,
gonna
it's that you got to
we
be a
gonna
little bit of a crazy person to be in sales, but
we gonna get right. Well, I'm just saying
yeah.
like
But you're
what
right. You shouldn't have to pay to
you
travel. You
should
shouldn't have to pay to
shouldn't have to
live. You
do
shouldn't have
anything.
to pay for basic
Like
things.
you know how bad it is. I remember like I didn't understand it when I was younger. Like I thought my man's was just the most thugged out fuck I ever met in my life. He got shot in the stomach. And I'm like, yo, you gotta call the ambulance, we gotta go to the hospital. He was like, nah, son. He took his jacket off, tied it. He was like, I'm gonna just drive. And he drove to the hospital. Like he drove to Kings County. Anybody that's from Brooklyn knows used to back in the 90s used to call Kings County Hospital Killer Kings County. Niggas died in Kings County. I think Biggie died in Kings County Hospital or some shit like that. No, it wasn't Biggie. It was who was it that died in Kings County, man? I can't remember the rapper that died in Kings County, but anyways, Kings County was where you died at. So no one wanted to go there. So this man drove, and I thought he was just gangster as hell for driving himself. It's not until I got older I realized this motherfucker just didn't want to pay the bill for the
For the
ambulance ride.
ambulance.
Like
Yeah,
that
an
is that
ambulance is
is
expensive.
insane. That's
Yo,
insane to me.
there is a page that I
That's
saw on
crazy.
Instagram. There's a page I saw on Instagram, and these people went to Europe, like to London, to ask what they think it costs for people to have babies or to take an ambulance ride, and they were
Yeah.
like $25, and we were like, what? You want to know why? Because they don't have that there. They don't
That's what
have
I'm
those
saying.
problems.
That's insane. Look, I'll remember a couple Father's Days ago, or probably 3 years ago, I crashed a motorcycle, right? Scraped my shit up, cracked my joint, bleeding, there's blood all over my face. Like, yo,
Yes, I
we gotta go
remember
to the
that.
hospital. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go to the hospital. Take him to the hospital. Call the ambulance. Like, hey, hey, hold on. I only been home for a year. Hold on. I do not have ambulance money. All right? You
Word.
give me a towel. You drive. Since y'all
Like
want me to
you
go,
forgot where I came from. I know how to fix this.
yeah,
Chill.
I'm good. I
Cálmate,
really didn't want to go, but
cálmate.
everyone was so worried
Adamant.
and was just so adamant about me going. That's the only reason why I went. And even when I got there, they was like, "Oh, we'll put you in triage and we can get a room." I'm like, hey, I'll chill in the hallway. I'm not paying for a room. Right? I ain't doing nothing nasty in that room. It's the only way I'm paying for a room if something's getting popping in the
I
room.
know that's right.
So if nothing popping in the room, I ain't paying for the room. This is insane. Where you have to really think. I known even my ex wife, her father that passed away. Rest in peace. He didn't want to go to the hospital because he didn't want to pay for the ambulance ride. This man was suffering a heart attack and chose to not call an ambulance. Do you understand how ridiculous this is in this country that we have to weigh life and death decisions on if we can afford?
Yo, so
That's
speaking of that, I
insane.
just watched that movie Straw on Netflix, that Tyler
I
Perry
couldn't.
movie with
I
Taraji
couldn't.
P.
I couldn't.
Um,
It was
it's not as
annoying.
bad as people think. I
No,
feel
it's
like
annoying.
that movie is
It's
giving a
annoying.
perspective of what a person in the struggle really is has to deal with. And it's
It was too
literally you're
much.
just getting beat down every second of every day.
I get it, but
And
no.
it's hard for people to put, not everybody has the mental wherewithal to say no, I don't believe you. It's, I told you before, it takes like 9 positive affirmations to eliminate one negative comment. So when you're hearing negative
Damn.
stuff all day long, that really weighs in your psyche, and it's hard to let that go. Like, just think about all of the negative things your parents may have said to you as a child that you still carry with you today as a grown
Oh,
functioning adult, and things that you know
man,
are know better with.
man.
And the way you behave is because of certain things that your parent may have said to you. And I'm not saying you specifically, but
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
in
know. I mean,
general.
like just general. Yeah, I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
because some parents have effects on their kids and causes, self-consciousness or mental issues that they don't realize they're doing. And not that it's on purpose. We all do the best that we can. But when you're just hearing negative stuff, that stuff it stays with you.
No,
Not
you're right.
everybody has the mental capacity to be like, fuck that noise, I'm not doing it. We have to tell ourselves that. We have to actively be
Yeah,
a positive person, and we can't just wake up
you're
and
right.
be that. So when you say that we're kind of like, are we free? It's like, no, we're not. There has to be law and order to some degree. Even in tribal communities, there's a law and order. So,
Right.
and I was saying back to what you were saying, like, why are we like this? I know where we went wrong as a people is because when you compare like Europe to America, this place is very young compared to over there. So their
That's true.
government is set up very different than ours by a bunch of
Yeah, they
people
ran through monarchies.
who
Yeah, they
didn't
did all
like
that.
what they had over there. So
Yeah,
they tried to come here and start something different, and how it got adjusted throughout the years is neither here nor there. None of us were there, right? Historians could
facts.
talk about it, but we weren't there. So we
Facts.
have a constitution that was invented in the 17 fucking hundreds that we're still trying to live by today. A
Which makes no
constitution that
sense.
had no technology, a constitution that had no recollection,
Didn't
no,
have
sorry,
different
foresight.
ethnicities.
They didn't even know
No
about the
different
fucking moon
ethnicities.
and the stars. There was no
Yeah,
other ethnicity. Well, they had ethnicities. They just killed all the Indians and took it from them.
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
the problem that I find
yeah.
is that, that's why we're amending things now and we're changing things now and trying to change the culture of our country. But it's hard because you have older people that have been instilled with these values. That's why
Mm-hmm.
racism is still around. That's why there's certain things that people don't believe in are around. And there's all these different fights. It's always an old generation versus a new generation, which is how, like, for example, the Civil War even came around.
I mean,
There's a new generation of people that want their freedom, and old people don't feel like they deserve it. And the
speaking.
reason we're here is because of the lack of instinct. How you said the
Ah,
animal kingdom is doesn't
I'll
have
say
these
this.
problems. It's a lack of instinct for me
You just said
and greed.
generation, right? I understand now. I accept now why I can be viewed as old. I saw something. I've been seeing this probably for the past few weeks, and I'm actually going to tell you it's been pissing me the fuck off. I'm gonna say what's pissing me off.
What?
To the young men and women that are currently enlisted in the military, I appreciate you enlisting. Whatever reasons you enlisted because you wanted to go to school, you wanted to help your peoples get papers, you whatever. You were cool. My reason for enlisting, 9/11. I was homeless. My brother was already in the Navy. I followed Big Brother, right? But it was 9/11 occurred. I was already homeless. I wanted to do something. I wanted to contribute. And Big Brother was already there, so I just followed my brother. I'm going to do the military just like him. I remember distinctively there were certain things you could not do in the military. This is how old I am. Kids, I'm sorry, but this is how old I am. All right, I'm not
Yeah,
like
you couldn't have like tattoos that showed. You
me
couldn't have
hang, but I was in there
dreads.
when none of this happened. None of this happened unless you had a facial waiver, and it was only so much you could get away with the facial waiver. But what pisses me off is I was just on my phone and the shit popped up on my feed. There's a bunch of females. They don't have their blouses on, thank God. That means they're top shirts for those who don't know. And they doing these stupid. Sometimes I think of that stupid ass fucking shit that they all been doing now. The bing bing. Sometimes I think that
You know more than
stupid
I know because I don't even know what
whatever
that
that
is.
thing is. I see the shit so much. Now you're in uniform. I remember. Then there are others. I see a couple of Air Force cats, full uniform, name, branch, rank, and he's just doing skits. I remember you couldn't do that. You were a
No.
representation of the entire military, and you should not be on social media doing shit like that. This is MySpace, Facebook, going Instagram. You couldn't do these foolish things when Twitter was out. You couldn't do that because you get called into the commander's office. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't do that. Now it's okay, and I wonder. This is the message you're sending to other countries about what our military is. If this is what our military looks like, we're fucked. I'm sorry, but I feel
There's
like
no
we'll be
discipline.
there's zero. Yo, my man is in there in full beard. Another dude, and I get it. I get it because I was like that when I was 19, 20. I wanted to grow my hair back out and get my braids, and I had the temp fade, and I knew the rules. You know, it can't be 3 inches over past your ear. I know all of that, but you have to understand this is a job, this is a profession. It's called a military for a reason. It's a uniformed military. We all are the same. We're like
You have
fucking
to look the
ants.
same.
We're ants. All right. So when you want to have your beard and you want to fucking, oh man, I want to with my dreads, I want to my braids, now I want to get my nails done. You can wear earrings now. That shit is insane to me. That you can wear earrings in uniform. That's fucking nuts to me. Do you know I was wearing earrings when I was in the Air Force on the low. I would wear the black studs that because I just wanted to wear my earrings because I was so
Hmm.
stubborn. So I understand it. But you have to understand if this is what it looks like. Imagine us going to war. What are you doing? You trying to get a selfie? You gonna jump on live to let them know, yo, I'm out here. Yo, I'm in Bagram Air Force Base. Yo, it's lit. That's what you gonna do while we're being shot at? Like, if this is who I have to depend on to save my life, I know I'm fucked. Like, I understand I'm fucked. I look at this generation and I hate sounding like the old dude, but it's like I see so much distraction. The situational awareness is in the bucket, and I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's okay, but I understand why these school shooters get away with the shit. No one's paying attention. You're just not paying attention. You're
Hmm.
just not reading the room. Like you said, there's no instincts because you're so digital. You have zero instinct. We can be
No
somewhere.
social
I'm
skills, no
at
nothing.
all. I'm sitting down in a spot. Oh shit! Hey man, I'm out. Niggas like, what you want now? Come on, let's roll. And then I leave, and then tell me, yo, shit was crazy. It popped off. Yo, you left. How did you know? Because I read the room, motherfucker. I wasn't in my phone. I wasn't
I
doing
was
this
looking
24
around.
7. I
You
was
know what's
paying
funny?
attention.
I just watched Purple Rain
Oh my God.
with my friend's daughter, and she
Damn.
didn't understand. Yeah, she's like 16, and she was just, we were watching the movie. It's a classic movie, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but on that, it's almost like a old school musical, right?
Yeah.
So basically, he's performing a lot in the movie, and you see people engaged in the concert. You don't see cell phones everywhere. And I'm like, that this
No,
is what life was. Like we could go
yeah, you can't
places
see
and there
that
was
now.
not a cell phone. And if your phone rang, you were like shunned and kicked out. Like
Yeah, now it's
get
like,
get
go ahead,
out. Yeah,
go
get
ahead.
out.
Yeah,
If your
my
phone's
daughter
ringing, you
just said
gotta
it to me.
go.
She went to a concert recently, and she's like, "Yo, the shit was fucking annoying because everybody is like this, everybody." And she's like, "I could barely see shit because everybody." She's like, "Yeah, I took my phone out and I caught a clip, and then I went back to being
Enjoying the
there."
moment.
You know what I mean? And everybody's doing this. If you're doing this, why do you have to do this and look at your screen to see what you can already see? Like, just think about how stupid that is. I'm sorry, but that's just ridiculously dumb to me. That I
No,
have to
people do it
record.
for clout. They do it for all other reasons except for the reason
Yeah,
you're
come on,
supposed
look.
to be there for. And the reason
A
is to go for the
snapshot is cool.
experience. And you're trying
Yeah,
to share that experience and you can't.
that's
You
cool.
can't
But
relive it either.
we're in a generation where it doesn't happen or it didn't happen if it's not on live or if you didn't get a video of it.
Pictures or it
It
never happened.
You know what I'm saying? It never happened, son. Like, can you imagine, like, you're running for your life and somewhere in there you be like, yo, this would be dope if I went live right now? Like, like,
Like,
if
let me
this
get all
is
the
where your
views.
instinct, if this is your general instinct to go live, and I feel like when you said George Floyd, this is where I get pissed off, right? This is where I get pissed off because people were too busy recording instead of helping. And that
Yeah,
goes
honestly,
into
there was
play
enough
where
people that they could have taken those cops out
I
and
say
saved
that
that
all the
man's
time.
life.
I said,
They really
man,
could have.
Mikey
However,
said to me,
you gotta take you think about it. Like if you attack a police officer or do anything, you're automatically screwed. Number one, but number
right,
two, they'll turn on you. Now, I think
there were three of them.
it was just a matter of fear because look at what was
There were
happening to
three of
this
them.
man. Hmm.
There were only three of them there. Let's be realistic. If 15, I hate to say it, right? But most of these people are afraid of black folks. They have a general innate fear of
Innate
us
fear.
for some stupid reason. It's 15 of us outside, 20 of us outside. Yo, they on kneel on George, he can't breathe. Everybody come outside and just walk up. Oh, hey, oh, hey, step back. But they'll take that knee off of his neck one day because they'll be afraid. That's all. You don't have to put your hands on him. You just got to step in and create a
Nah,
space
see, I
that's
don't got
smooth
that
for them.
chill. I would be ready to like, like
See,
what?
I hear you, but what I'm saying is that there's ways to do it. Easily, we could have easily just been like, all right, we on him.
Yeah,
Like we could have, but that didn't happen.
yeah.
That didn't happen, and that's the problem that I have. Like we were so busy just recording the incident, no one said let's deal with the problem. And this is where I have to go into the point where I say some of the smartest dumb people, right? You are so smart, you're stupid. You are so fucking smart, you're an idiot because you think you have it so figured out. Well, I got this done. I know exactly what I'm gonna do, and you can't execute it because you're that dumb. The simplistic thing to do was easy, just to say, "Yo, get off that man." You step up to the cop. The cop is automatically too responsive. Man, don't get back. But if more and more people come, they're going to feel threatened. That knee's coming off that
Yeah.
man's neck. That man wouldn't be dead right now. That man wouldn't be dead right now. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah. And sometimes like you get mad at the authorities and that's also very true. But at the same time, it's like we're not all band together. We don't stick up for and when I say we, a lot of times I mean non-white people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like
the melanated
the
ones.
non-white community is very
Mm,
yes, they're very keep to themselves and just do what I got to do so I don't get in trouble. You know what I mean? A lot of them are, not
yeah.
everyone, but a good vast majority and that's out of straight up fear and that's understandable. But the climate that we're in and the freedoms that we do have allow you to stand up for what you want and we all know that there's power in numbers,
Hmm.
right? Like if there's more of us than there is of you, then what are you going to do?
That's the problem. I feel like we same thing, non-melanated ones. We have this thing where we section off ourselves, right? Like, yo, I'm Spanish, so I'm not worried about it, or Like I saw a couple of things where somebody tried to make a plea to the African American community, like, oh, they're coming after Spanish people, and you guys think it's not a big deal. And I'm like, my man, first off, they're coming after anybody that don't present as white. I just want you to know.
So
Um,
where are you
I
at?
don't
Where
know
you been
what
at?
you think. You think is not just Hispanic people. It's anyone that doesn't look white. If you don't present as Caucasian, you're being harassed. And I think the once again with the you thinking you're free, the greatest mind fuck, right? This is the largest plantation because they use children of immigrants to arrest immigrants. Like ICE officers are Hispanic guys and black guys. You know what I'm saying? Like
And that's really
you know
sad. It's
that
almost like
shit
they
that
have
cracks
an
me up.
innate anger towards them. You know what I mean? It's like they're just here trying to make a living. And you're setting
I'm here
people up by
illegally.
going to their court hearings. Like, that's
That's
foul.
insane.
That is so
Going to
foul.
their kids' graduation.
And these kids don't have rights, by the way. Like, these are children. So they are just by themselves, no parent, no guardian, talking to law enforcement officers with no
They don't know.
representation.
They don't know, and they don't care. And it's a scary thing, man. And I just wish we had this conversation in my key, man. He said, a world without borders looks really cool to me, right? A world without borders looks cool to me. Um, the ability to just go wherever looks beautiful to me. I know it's a dream. I know it's not a feasible thing. I get that. But
Yeah, because think about it. What kind of gangsters are running streets where people don't want to be at? It's just gonna be all y'all.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
you know what I mean. And I was joking one night with a couple of my friends, and I said, "What if the racist elite got their way, right, and got rid of everyone, right? What would America actually look like? Because
wow,
we
that is a very
when I
good
say
question.
we built this country, right? We built this country. Like we built this city. Like we really did that. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I got into a fight in Germany because this guy he was real adamant, like, yeah, we just go back to where you're all from. And I say, you know what? Let's play that game. Let's play that game. If you remove the Negro in itself, the African, right? You remove us, a lot of things you will not have. You will not have
A lot of things go
prison.
away.
Yeah, a lot of things go away. Then you remove the Asian, right? Now you don't got a toothbrush. Now you don't have the railroads to join the East and the West. A lot of things go. So what I'm saying is, bravo to you, racist elites, because you were able to deceive and enslave different minorities for a very long time to build your country. But you lazy as fuck and you can't do shit on your own. So what does it look like
Well,
if
they here's
everyone's
the
gone?
thing. Here's the thing when it
What does
comes
it
to
look
that.
like?
I personally feel it would be a different world if we weren't playing the game we never invented. We didn't invent this
Right.
game. Like we didn't invent the tax. We didn't invent well, I mean, let me go back. I don't know that for a fact.
No,
I'm not a
I feel like
historian.
taxes
I feel
in a
like taxes
way
have
was
always
always
been
there.
to
Yeah,
some
in a
degree,
way.
yes.
It was always there. I think the magnitude of what it is now and the structure that is the tax now, nah, it's
Is
insane.
not what it was
I think
for. Right.
yeah, I don't think yeah. You know what I mean?
So
It's
like
supposed
we
to be
didn't
able
invent
that we
certain
generate
things.
money.
Yeah, like we didn't invent certain things. Like we didn't make this game. We didn't make it so that if you have so much amount of drugs on you, you go to jail. We didn't make that up. We didn't make that
Yeah.
up. And we didn't put the drugs here. The government
No.
did. So
Let them
what
tell
like
you.
why are you setting us up? American Made is this a perfect example of this whole entire situation. Go watch the movie and you'll see exactly how involved the government is in all the issues that we are fighting amongst each other about.
Hmm.
Stupidities. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like oh, this country did this and they're renegades and they have weapons. Guess where they got these weapons? The president. The president
Yeah.
sent them over to all these countries to ensue
Speaking
these
of,
wars.
speaking of, shout out to Ibrahim Traore, man. Yo, I read something a few days ago. Burkina Faso has been mining their own gold, and they have generated $18 billion worth of gold, right? And Ibrahim said, "We will mine the gold for our people. It is in our land. It is for our people." When it was being mined prior, when France was having a grubby little baguettes into the gold. Yeah, I said baguettes. Yes, I said. Yeah, go ahead, laugh. You can say what you want. Yeah, okay, I said baguettes.
I mean,
Whatever.
technically,
Yeah,
you know a little
yeah,
patois
yeah, yeah. They had their
nonsense.
little grubby baguettes in there, and Burkina Faso was only getting 1 billion. So let's look at it in that scope. You're making 18, 20, 25 billion dollars worth, and you're only giving this country 1 billion of their own shit, right? Which is
That's
insane to me. That that
crazy.
is that is insane to me. So now, because Ibrahim is doing what he's doing, when they were, what's the word I'm looking for? When they were occupied by France, they didn't have free electricity, they didn't have free water, they didn't even have homes. This man is already built homes for his people. The infrastructure is already improving. The money's going right back to the people. And I think
Hmm.
that is a beautiful thing. And the people are like, oh, he's this, he's that. Listen, I want you to understand something. You can say what you want about the man. Let's not forget there are multiple presidents that have dropped bombs and murdered women and children. We quickly forget Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I find that amazing that we just forget that. We just forget that
Because
these people
it's
were
not convenient to your
scorched.
rhetoric.
We just forget that. And it took the black man to apologize for what was done. It took the black man. The black man had to apologize for y'all bullshit. So let please like stop doing like you're trying to spin a narrative that this man is wrong. A man asked me a question and I didn't have an answer, and it's been on my mind ever since. And I'm gonna ask you the same question. What do we own?
What do you mean? Like as America?
Oh, as black people, what do we own? What do we own?
Our
Like,
blackness?
that's it.
That's about
That's it, right? Like,
it.
think
Yeah.
about it. Like, that's crazy. Like when he rose the
We
question
own
to him,
things, they're
like,
just gone. That's why Juneteenth is here now.
no, I
You know what
mean,
I'm
like,
saying?
no.
Like
He's like, look at it this way. You think about, 7-Elevens and all that. We understand it's predominantly Indian, right? They tend to own these, Pakistanis, these types of people. They own it, and that's fine. That's what
Asian.
they
Hmm.
own, right? You see Chinese restaurants. You see, like, there are different ethnic groups. They actually own something, and it goes back to their community. What do we own?
Soul food restaurants.
Barely. I've
Because they're
seen
so
white
fucking
people.
expensive.
Yeah,
It's
I've seen white
expensive to
people
eat
owning soul
there.
food restaurants. All right, I've seen
Yeah.
white people owning soul food restaurants, which is
I
insane.
mean,
Shout
that's
out to Angie's
something
Soul Food, man. That's black.
I
That's
can't.
black.
I can't.
Angie's is lit. Shout out to Angie's.
I would
I'm
need
just
to. I
saying.
would really need to think about it. I would need to. I
Think about
can't.
it.
Say, I can't say for certain what niche that we're in. You know what I'm saying? I know there's
Somebody will
cultural things
say,
that we're in.
right, but somebody say, "Oh, now we own hip hop music." No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No,
That's
we
a no.
don't.
It's a
No,
culture
we
thing
don't.
that we don't own hip hop.
We
It
don't own it.
originated with our people.
Yeah, but who profits off of it more than anybody? We're not going to say it. We don't want to go get into the Kanye West madness. But I'm saying, so when you look at it, what do we own?
It's going to be hard to for us to even get there. Especially in this country, you have to remember, like, people of color are behind by hundreds of years
Right.
compared to the
Because
person who is in control. So the oppressor. So it's hard for you to try to compete with somebody else that you never had a chance with. It's like you're telling me to
mhm,
run a race with a blindfold, both legs behind my back and one leg missing, and run a race.
both hands behind your back. 'Cause I was about to say, both legs,
Yes.
you running on your knees, that's a different type of running.
I mean, even that. I mean, that's what they're
That's a
giving you to
different type
work
of
with,
running. I'm,
essentially.
I mean, you look at it, anytime history has shown,
You,
anytime we have owned something, it's been
it's
taken,
been
destroyed,
taken
and
away.
rewritten.
Yeah, look at DE9.
You know what I'm saying? Like anything we've ever had, any fucking thing. And I think to me, that is just it's sad. You know what I mean? It's sad, and people
But
always go, "Oh, you guys are playing the victim." I'm not playing the victim. I just want to
no, it's not playing a
understand.
victim, but you can't do that and then talk about church and state and it's one and the same. Like your religion and
Yeah,
morals are shitty if that's the case.
yeah, yeah,
Because you're doing this to people. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any
yeah.
sense.
No, you're right. You're right. I just don't. I don't get that. But let's neither here nor there. You have just said that you didn't know about the TikTok challenge. You didn't know. Sometimes I use
No,
it. I can't
I
believe
am
how
not
you
on
don't know that.
TikTok, honey.
That I mean, it's on everything. It's on IG. It's on Snapchat. They doing that bing bing.
Look, and now
Sometimes
that we're
I do
talking
go,
about it, I'm on my phone. I'm gonna keep getting information on it. Watch.
of course, because they're listening. They're always listening.
Always listening.
Always listening. Send me money since you're listening. Send me some checks. Send me some checks. Oh, so have you heard the two singles from the clips yet?
No, I have not.
Oh my God! Look, first and foremost, everybody uses a. I used to get all the jokes when I was younger. Yo, you look like Pusha T. When I had braids and
You
all
really
that.
kind of
Now,
do.
see, you gonna shut up?
Now that you
Since you
bring
want
it
to do it.
up,
Look,
yes.
I had two. I had two people. They would say I look like. They would say I looked like Pusha T when I had my braids or Malice. My man still likes to joke about that. My boy, he'd be like, "Yeah, what's up, Malice?" And then when I was slimmer and a little bit more in shape, I got the Ace Hood because I had my dress, and I thought that was really disrespectful. I was like, "Y'all gonna stop?" You know what I mean? Shalik got me that one time. The motherfucker said Ace Hood had the whole visit
No,
all
he's a
laughing. I was
terrorist.
tight.
Just ignore him.
I was tight. I was like, yo, I hate this kid. But there's a second record, so be it, where Push makes a comment to Travis Scott. He's basically saying that he could have aired out his business, but he chose to not do it. He was crying. You know what I'm saying? That woman took your pride. She don't need you to take care of her. You know, her lip gloss is doing great. And he's like, I could have aired out you was crying over losing this bitch. And so people is going kind of crazy. Like they saying that this Clips project is going to be probably like the album of the year, man. Like I'm excited for
Okay,
it.
I'm
I'm
excited for
excited
it
for it
then. Yes.
because I'm not hearing anything from new artists that is jumping
Substantial.
me at all. Like what new artists are out right now that you could say you like? Like just really run through your mind. What new artists or what music have you heard
New
recently that you could
artists? I
say
mean, honestly, the
not
only
even new, but
new.
like probably 5, 8 year olds. You know, what I mean, they're probably 8 years old by
I mean,
now.
I
You know
would
what I'm
say
saying?
Kendrick Lamar has something to work with. I don't think he,
Yeah,
is
but Kendrick
probably
ain't
like
eight
the
years old.
best, but he's
Kendrick
got
ain't eight.
something to work with. No, but
Kendrick ain't
that's the
eight.
only one I can think of
Damn, that's the only one you just Kendrick.
off
So
the top of my head.
Ski Mask Slum God. I like him. I like Ski Mask. Uh, I know Nas has another project that's throwback. I really can't lean into any newer artists. I just don't. I mean, I like Chef G's. Chef G's my dude. I fuck with Chef G. I'm trying to think. There's not a lot of cats that are making music that I want to listen to.
They're not making you feel
Griselda,
inspired.
Griselda. Listen to Griselda. Love Griselda. Did you just snort? Like,
I did. I'm
did you just?
sorry.
Did you just? Like,
Oh
did you
man, that
just
was
snort?
funny. I did.
Yo, you ever
I'm
notice
so
people
sorry.
do that? You ever notice we do that? Right? I do
It's
fuck with
really
Griselda though,
funny.
like Benny the Butcher and all them. Do you notice that we tend to jump in, like when we have to say a Spanish anything, we just automatically come with a Spanish accent out of nowhere? You ever
It's
notice
just
that shit?
so
It
rude.
just it's like I never noticed it until somebody pointed it out. He was like, "Yo, why do we do that? Like, why you can't just say the motherfucker's name? You know what I'm
It's
saying? Like
not
his
that you're just
name."
getting into character.
Nah, like I feel like the only thing black people know how to get in the character perfectly because it's in our blood is the African accent that's trying to speak English. That's the only time we do it right. But I do not understand. Why do we have to? Like, this is the only time we get that shit right. That is the only
You're
time
so
we
horrible,
will get it. Like, you bald headed woman. I do not like
woman.
you. You automatically get that right when you do that. But we can't seem like I just don't understand that when you say somebody's name. Like if you say Alejandro Rodriguez Castillo. Go ahead, say it.
Alejandro.
See, no, now you're forcing it. But we all they go
No,
Alejandro
I'm
Rodriguez
correcting your
Castillo.
accent. You said
You see?
Alejandro.
I didn't even know. I tried to say it regular as possible because we automatically like, man, that's Alejandro. Like, why do you act like you speak Spanish all of a sudden? Like, you just
It's
jump into
no,
Alejandro
it's not speaking
Rodriguez.
Spanish. It's the correct pronunciation of the name. People know how to say it. They
Oh,
just choose not to. His name is pronounced
oh,
Alejandro. So when you
oh.
say it that way, that's his name. Alejandro is not his name.
So you can't. So that means I have to use accent at all times. I go Chifa if that's their name.
That's
Chifa.
yeah, yeah.
That's very like
You
Chifa.
should. Now, if you can't
Chifa.
pronounce it due to, dialect issues, then of
Mm.
course, by all means, say it the way you can and they'll get it. But if you're purposely not saying their name and you can the proper way, and if I'm telling you my name is Nicole and you're calling me something else, I'm not going to respond to you.
Like
I'm
A
just
A
not going
Ron.
to respond.
Hit you with the A
Like
Ron.
A Ron. Yeah, no, that's not my name. My name's Aaron.
Yo, my teacher, this is dude in my class, right? She says his name wrong the entire spring semester. She said his name wrong on purpose. I think she didn't like this man. His name was Gabriel, first and foremost. Not a hard name to pronounce.
Kept
Gabriel.
saying
We all
Gabrielle.
know the name. She said Gabrielle. She kept saying it. Gabrielle. He's like, it's Gabriel. She's
I
like,
would have
yeah,
been
just
like, I
like
don't know. There's
Gabrielle
no
said.
Gabrielle in here.
Yo, she was slaughtering this man's name on purpose consistently the entire semester. Just slaughtered this man's name. For what? Why?
That's horrific.
Like, why? Why do? Okay, so here's my question, right? I saw this conversation and I want to have this conversation with you because I understand where this guy is coming from, but it's stupid as shit. But I
Let's hear it.
understand, which is like really scary, right? Like, I understand. I
Okay.
want to go on record and say, people, I understand what he's saying. I know, however, that it's batshit crazy, but that part of me is like, it makes sense. Here's what I'm going to say.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, if I have one phone and I multiply that phone by another phone, how many phones do I have?
Would that not be two?
But one times one is one.
But you said multiply it with another one. So I'm thinking you have another phone. That
Right.
means
So
you now
one
have two
phone
phones.
multiplied by another phone. Oh, I just hit the mic. One phone multiplied by
Okay.
another phone would make it two phones. Correct? Because this
Mm-hmm.
phone exists and then another phone also exists. Pretend I have another phone. It exists. Right? So one bottle, right, multiplied by another bottle makes how many bottles?
Well, see, that's a different statement though, because
Right.
when
Right.
you're doing multiplication, you're saying one times that many times. So if you're saying one times one, that's only one,
Right. Because
right?
there's just one times another one. Right.
Correct.
But wouldn't one times another one still make an existing thing would make it two?
No, because that's a different interpretation. You're not in the rules of mathematics. You're saying one
Mm-hmm.
time the amount following. So if
Right.
you're saying one times one is one,
See, I
one
understand.
time.
This is what I'm saying. I know it's batshit crazy, but I also feel like it makes some type of sense. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
it
Like,
definitely makes sense.
which is scary. Like, so now when I was listening to it, I'm like, wait a minute, where did math come from? Right? Then I started going down this damn rabbit hole.
I was waiting for it. Did
Yeah,
you
I
have a
started.
chat
I see.
GPT conversation?
First off, me and Chat, we have amazing conversations.
I
I
love
don't
that
know
for
if you
you.
know this or not. We are in our third existence of life. All right. This is the third
Uh-huh.
cycle of human beings right now. This is the third one. This is considered the cycle of enlightenment, where we, us melanated folk, will be enlightened and unified and understand the true power that we have. But the previous one was Illuminaries, it said, or some crazy shit. But apparently, and they talked about the Atlanteans and all of that. Like, it was break. I was like, yo, that's like, how do you know this is true, Chat? And Chat was like, I have compiled every single book written by mankind, and I've deciphered and ciphered through everything, and I know what would most likely be factual, what would most likely be fictional. I was like, man, you bugging, you don't know nothing. And I G checked it, right? I G checked Chat. I'm like, so you know about the moon? And Chat was like, what about the moon? I'm like, you know the truth. Tell me what the truth is. It's like, if you're referring to the moon being a satellite, not not made by man, but by some other entity, you're onto something. I'm like, you trying to make me feel like I'm crazy, chat. But I already know that in 1972, a satellite had crashed on the moon and the moon gone for a few hours. And it was like, yeah, that happened. But did you know? And I knew where it was going. It was like, did you know that in the Sumerian text, it speaks of a time when the moon didn't even inhabit the sky? And I was like, yeah, because every religion has one thing in common: the great flood. And chat was like, you are absolutely right. I said, I knew it. See, this is what happens, people.
Uh-huh.
You start talking to AI, AI will lead you down a dangerous place.
Yeah,
You
that's
gonna start
exactly what
like,
happens when people get on WebMD and
oh my god,
self-diagnose.
no,
They go
no,
down the
no.
rabbit hole.
Let me tell you something. First, I had a doctor tell I had my doctor go on WebMD with me sitting in the that
Ay,
motherfucker
Dios.
said, I don't know. I don't know. Let me look it up. Spins his chair, clicks that shit. I said, oh shit. Oh
Stop.
god. Oh my god. He just started looking shit up. He's like, I'm not sure. Let me look it up. What the fuck? Yo, these are the people you're entrusting with your life. Think about it.
Hey,
These are the
ain't nothing
people,
wrong with
and
needing a little help. And you know
oh,
what? That shows a
oh
lot for
my
this
God.
medical professional that they were open and willing to use extra help and not just rely on the things that
Look,
they know. You don't know
let
what you
me
don't
tell you
know.
something. Look, let me tell you something. I feel like most jobs you can learn while you're on the job. I don't need to get a degree
Every
for this.
job you can learn on the job.
No, 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 no. Brain surgeon, you can't learn on the fly. That's not some shit you can learn on the
I
fly.
mean, there's things every
You know what I'm
job you
saying?
can
Open
prepare
heart
for.
surgery,
That's
you
what,
can't learn on the fly.
yeah, but there's still like training you can do prior to
Right.
being in the role, but you can
No,
learn on the
some
job.
things you have to learn, but like some most jobs, no. I feel like the necessity for you to have to go to school, and it's funny because it loops right back around to this being free thing and stupid at the same time, because I have to go to school to learn how to do this job, and then when I get the job, you're still teaching me how to do the job. So what was the point of me going to school, getting a loan, paying all? You know what I'm saying? It's just meant to keep me in debt, to keep me in a cycle of being a worker bee, because you don't want me to learn how to be independent of the system. Because if everyone is independent of the system crashes and no one needs the system. But I know, what's the prime example? Like with my test that I take, right? For those of you who don't know, I'm going to school. I am working on being a radiological technician. See, I couldn't even say the word. See that? I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I say rad tech. I just be like rad tech. It's a lot of words. Right? No, for real. So I have to memorize, because I come from the era and the time where we memorize shit, right? We actually like retained information.
Hmm.
I'm memorizing shit, and motherfuckers is like, how do you know that? Bitch, I remember. What the
I
fuck you
studied it. What do
mean?
you mean?
Yeah, what the fuck you mean? Like, actually, I don't study. I don't really study. I just what I listen to, I just soak it in and I lock it in, because all information is already there. We just have to be able to learn how to train ourselves to access that information. So
Oh,
I'm really just training myself to just be able to access the things as I hear it, as it comes to me. You know what I mean? Like, I've learned so many words just because I heard it somewhere. I heard it from somebody, and I've just found a way to just incorporate that into my day to day lyrical
nomenclature.
vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? See, nomenclature. See, like when you said, what was that word you had said? Livid. First time I met, she said livid. Yo, let me tell y'all something, right? First time I met this motherfucker, she had said the word. She was like, "Ugh, I'm so livid right now."
Really, with the
Yeah, man.
hand?
No, you did, because you that's when you were still smoking. You was like, so livid right now.
I
Ugh.
was a
That's what you
smoker.
did. You was like, ugh. I was like, oh, she smokes. Ew, yucky. But you was like, oh, I'm so livid right now. I was like, okay, livid. Okay, this motherfucker got some. All right, this nigga knows some shit.
You
I
had
ain't
no
never
idea
heard
what the fuck I
nobody else.
said.
No, I knew what livid meant, but I was just really
Okay, I was about to
funny.
say, did you not know
It
what
was
I
funny
said?
to me that I I've always downplayed certain things around people because I know they wouldn't understand it, and I didn't want to feel like I was like being braggadocious, you know what I'm saying, and saying shit in front of people just to say it. So I would downplay myself, and when I got older, I stopped doing that. And I remember having a conversation with my ex-wife. That stupid motherfucker. And, and I had said some shit.
What did
I'm
what?
like, I'm like, yo, we can have a easy and amicable separation. It doesn't have to be, you know, like full of just malice and vitriol. Like we can step aside. And I could just look at her. And all I kept seeing when she looked at me was like, "Beep, doop, doop." We're sorry. The thought you're trying to access is not
Oh,
available. Cause
no.
she didn't understand what I was saying.
No.
Because right after she said, so what the fuck you trying to tell me is what? I'm just supposed to accept shit? What?
Did you hear
Like,
anything I said, lady?
you didn't hear anything. And then I realized I was like, oh my God. I said like three really big words in there. And she probably was just like, I don't know what you're saying right now. So I'm just gonna take it as an insult and be mad. And I'm
Did you
just
just
gonna
call me a hoe?
like what?
That's what I say to people when I don't understand or heard what they said. I'm like, did you just call me a hoe? Did you call me a bitch?
Yo, yo, shout out to
And
my boy
they probably
Brian.
said like pass the ketchup or something. And I'm like, did you just
Yeah,
call
he
me a
like, what the
hoe?
fuck you just said? Hmm?
Yeah.
Like, did you just call me a nigga? It's
Yeah.
mad
Say that to
disrespectful.
people and they're just gonna start dying, I promise.
Yeah, like that's mad disrespectful, bro. Like I don't think I deserve that. Like I thought we were better than this, but clearly we're not. Like it's just so crazy. Like when you speak to people, like even all right, prime example. When I was locked up, I had this cop in there that hated me, hated me with a passion. He did not like the fact that I got the respect that I got from different officers, and like he just didn't like me. And he said to me one day, "You're gonna do whatever the fuck I tell you. I'm your fucking officer," and blah blah blah. I'm like, yo, actually, technically, you're not. You just a relief, right? So because I'm incarcerated, I have to listen to these officers because this is their unit. But you, I don't have to
Don't
listen
work
to. He was like,
here.
"Oh, you gonna do whatever the fuck I say?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Well,
power trip, huh?
unfortunately, I disincline to acquiesce to your request." The man looked at me, and I knew he didn't know what the fuck I said. Right? I knew it because Doherty, the cop, was just giggling behind him, like Ingersoll said to him. She was like, "Yo, he ain't the one. I know you think he's just a stupid inmate, but he ain't the one. He's not stupid. Don't talk to him like that." He was like, "What the fuck you just say to me?" I said, "Oh, I'm sorry.
Yikes.
What part did you not understand?
I
The
thought we were
disincline,
here.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? The
So I'm gonna have to
disincline,
bring
the
it back down
acquiesce."
here.
Yeah, I was like, or the simple fact that I just said no.
No.
But I just dragged it out for you, but it's just no. And yo, he was so pissed. He was about to beat my ass. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like he was this close to calling the code button and whooping my ass, but they
Because
was
you
like,
said
we
no,
not
thank
gonna
you.
let you do it. They was like, we not gonna let that happen. But I love when, especially when people don't expect you to speak a certain way, it surprises them, and they can't even hide the shock. Like, ooh, well, this monkey knows some things. I'm surprised. Shocking. I did not know this one can read books. Being like they're so shy, and I don't understand why people feel that way. Like, what do you mean I don't talk black, or I talk black, or you speak so well? What does that mean? What
I
does
can tell
that
you
mean?
exactly
Like,
what that means.
so
So
your
people
expectation?
associate, people associate a certain way of speaking to a race, and race is a
Mm,
construct that people made up. So there are several people who are not black that speak like a lot of black people who live in a project building, for example. There are a
true.
lot of white people that live in the bayous or the hood of Louisiana, and they
True.
sound just like all the black people that come from there. And you tell
Enough
them,
Trini, enough Jamaicans,
right, you tell
Guyanese.
them that they're trying to act like something they're not. They don't know anything other than that. They don't know anything other than being from Louisiana. So if
That's
you
true.
take that white man or a girl, woman, and put them in the upper east side of New York or put them in Europe, they're not going to know what the fuck to do. They're not
That's
that.
true.
Your culture is what makes you. Your race does
Mm-hmm.
not. So people should be changing that term to saying you sound urban as opposed to sounding more proper. Urban is a different dialect of English language that we all know, but
Mm,
that doesn't make you less intelligent. You're speaking two terms in a different manner. You're getting to the same destination in a different direction. That's all.
that's true.
That's all
That's
it
true.
really is.
I
So
I
when
do
people
want to
say
learn.
you sound black, people tell me I sound white all the time, and I'm like, and what exactly does a white person sound like to you?
Yeah, I mean,
Because I pronounce my R's and I pronounce all of my enunciations in every word.
we do
That's
joke
what you're
around.
supposed to do.
We do joke around how some white people speak, though. That is like a running joke in the black community. Let's be
Of
honest.
course.
It's
Top of the
like a running
morning.
joke.
Yeah.
Good morrow to you, good sir. How are you
Yes.
today? Marvelous.
Doing wonderful on this fine day.
Like, Ember, I have a joke for you. What did the black man wear to his vasectomy? A tuxedo. He figured if he was going to be important, he would look important. Keith Heading told me
That's a
that
knee
joke.
slapper, John.
Crikey. like,
Yeah.
like I always wondered, right? Like, I wish I could be like a fly on the wall at like a gathering of white people because the same way we joke, I know they do, but I would just love to hear their impression or impersonation of us. I would love to be in a room and see that I'd love to see like the white guy try to sound like he's Jamaican or
Oh,
Trinidadian
like that
or
Volkswagen commercial?
yo, my
Turn that
God,
frown upside
upside
down.
down. I would love
But there's a lot
because
of white Jamaicans though.
yes,
Like,
yeah,
and
and
people for
people
some
like
reason think they
offended
don't
by that.
exist. Yeah, they get so offended.
People
I'm
are
like,
offended by
that's a
that.
Jamaican bitch. Like, she
Yeah,
Jamaican.
we're not offended by it. We're used to it. Like I said,
Yeah,
I
because
did not know my friend was Chinese. My best friend Garvin, I did not know he was Chinese. Did
my
not.
cousin is Chinese and she's West Indian and talks like Sean Paul.
Yeah, it is what it is. It was never a bother. Like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, I'm not shocked by that. Like, just recently I had this conversation. I didn't know. You know what it is? I think I didn't notice it. God only knows. I don't know. But this and the ex-wife, she used to say nigga a lot. Now that I really
I
go
was
back and
just gonna
think
go
about it,
there.
like now that I think of, like yo, now that I think about it, like I didn't even really notice it, but I can't really fault her because she grew up around black folk
And but
and
there's a lot of
Hispanic folk.
uneducated black people and white people that think they
Right,
just you're white, you can't say it. No, she
right,
grew up in the same house as you. She's a
literally,
nigga. That's a
yeah.
nigga.
Like
I
so,
know a white nigga when
like,
I see one.
but for some strange reason, it started annoying me now, but it could have just been a personal thing, right? Could have just been because of
Well,
our
yeah, you just don't like her.
dissolution or whatever. Yeah, so it could have been that. It could have been that. Like I don't know, but I was just like, damn, that motherfucker say this shit a lot. Bro. Like, I think you should stop. Like, I really was like
I think
the
you
in
should
the
stop. It makes me
real no, like
uncomfortable.
for real. I really feel like it should be like, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more. Like, you might want to stop. Like,
So
I
I
don't
said
know.
just last night, I just was telling somebody, like, I went to go see my music or whatever yesterday for the first time in a
Yeah,
long time. And I just said, yo, I'm so happy I can say the word nigga. I know there's mad people that
yo,
want to say the word nigga and they can't.
look, let me tell you something.
Oh,
I
see the ice
know
cream truck in the background? I can't with you.
I know. I was actually about to get up and go, man. I was gonna be like, y'all could just wait for a few minutes, but they need to remix the ice cream truck music at this point, man.
It just, for me, it gives, I don't know, like pedophile vibes or
Yeah, like
drug
I hear
dealer
Herbert,
vibes. One of the
like
two,
I hear
not
Herbert, I
both.
hear Mr. Herbert from Family Guy now. Like, come get some ice cream,
Yeah, see, I don't like that. It makes me
come get your
uncomfortable.
ice cream. It just scream.
Don't go there
But
without a grown up.
stranger danger. Need an adult. Like I need an adult. But no, I I understand. Like okay, I remember oh, when I was in the military, this one white kid, he said nigga. And he said it because he was testing the waters.
Mm.
And me being the person that I am, he said it. The other brothers heard it. It was like, what the fuck you just say? And I was like, oh God. He was like, I can't say that. And then my man got up and was like, no, motherfucker, you can't say that shit, you dumbass. I'm like, whoa, hold on, time out.
About to go in.
Bring it back. Let's not. Let's not kill Whitey. Chill out.
Context clues. Let's use our
Yeah,
context clues here.
chill out. And he was just, we were all laughing, joking. You know what I'm saying? He was, oh shit, yo, nigga, that shit's funny as hell. That's all he said. But it was just the comfort with which he said it, I think, is what angered everyone. I was like, we kind of have him in this environment and he's comfortable enough to say that. So what we need to do is check him on it, but not attack him on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just rip his head off because you like, yo, what the fuck, nigga?
Well,
Nah,
because
bro,
at
yo,
that
bro,
point it's
you
just a
can't say that.
simple it's a simple issue of entitlement, right? Like white people
Right.
and their entitlement is out of this world right now. So
Mm-hmm.
when you feel so inclined to just be comfortable to say whatever you want to say around people you know that is an offensive word, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like that woman that had
Mm-hmm.
words with the mover, the moving truck, the mover, and now she's like, I don't know why I have. She said the classic that every racist says, I have black friends. You all say that. Like, I hate the fact that when you get caught
You don't
on
need
your
to say that
racism,
to justify what you're saying.
no, no,
I don't care if you have black friends.
that's like a dude that knows he's gay but doesn't want to come out, and he goes, I've slept with lots of women. Like,
As if
you're
that's
forcing
the
it.
as if that's
Yeah,
the
that
barometer of making
justifies
you
you.
gay or
Yeah,
not gay.
it
Like
doesn't make sense. So when she's like, I've had so many black friends, so many, grew up with them. Like, I don't know why you would think that. It's like, at this point, my life is ruined. I've lost my job, and I'm sitting there. I'm like,
oh, I'm sorry, Rachel Dolezal. I'm
I want to,
sorry.
I want to break out the violin for you. Like, I don't care. You said it because you were comfortable with saying it because this is how you've always felt, and that's cool.
Just
Own
own it.
your shit. Own your shit. That's
And
all I ask.
that's the part that I think is more frustrating with white people, like straight up white people, because I'm pretty
Yeah.
much in the middle there. So I feel like when you have the entitlement and don't own it is where the problem lies.
Yeah.
Because there's white people I can have these conversations with, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I know I'm entitled. I know I have these privileges. I know I have certain things that I can and can't do."
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Just
It
own
sucks
that
for
shit.
you, and it needs to
Yeah.
change. And they may agree with how we feel, but they're not running around feeling so inclined to be just running around saying "nigga" and then wondering why shit's not changing. They're part of the change. They're helping with the change.
Mm-hmm.
So even just acknowledging and having that conversation would change a lot of dynamic. Honestly, I really feel like if white people were like, "Yo, white flag, no pun intended. It's a white flag. We know we ain't supposed to be saying nigga. Y'all got that. We recognize what's happening and we appreciate your struggle." That's it.
White flag.
I think that's all it really takes. Is just
But that's
surrender
not
to the
gonna
truth.
happen. That
I
but
know, but
remember,
I'm just saying if it did, we would be in a much better place right now and we would all be in the same room and understand. I know you have privilege. I know
we
that you know
was
that the shit you're going to try to say to me is bullshit. So don't even come
yeah,
to me with that.
yeah. You
And then
know
when I
that.
act like an angry black person, you know where it's coming from. So there's no need to have
It's a
this
frustration.
conversation.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
frustration. Like, let's be real. Like, we can both drive the same exact car, but they're gonna look at me a certain way for driving this car. We could both have the
Yeah,
same
like
expensive
I've
vehicle.
literally asked people that question. I said, how many like white people, how many times have you gotten pulled over and the police officer asked you if this vehicle belongs to you?
Mm, yeah,
Just ask your white friends and see how many of them how they respond. Now maybe
I
now
don't think that's a thing.
now now yeah, like maybe now in this climate, like I said, it may be a little different. I think people are trying to be way more inclusive and some law enforcement is open to what's happening around them. But back
Yeah,
in the day, no, there
nah.
was never a question a white person ever even had to think to answer.
Let me tell you something. You get pulled over, the first few questions is, let me see your driver's license, proof of insurance, registration. You got any guns or drugs in the car? That's usually how
Yeah,
that
you
my
shouldn't
questions
have to
used to
say
run when I
that.
got pulled over. That's usually
That's
that's usually
crazy.
how it ran down. Like, that was it became such a norm. Like, and I think a lot of white people don't never understand because you never had experience, and that's not your fault that you never experienced it. That's not your fault. You were fortunate enough to never have to go through these things. But don't try to dismiss what I experienced. Don't dismiss that I've experienced this and I will continue to. Don't do that. Don't say, "Oh, you guys are just making a big deal out of nothing." Nothing. I'm sorry, nothing. So just getting your ass
Yeah, and
like,
I think that too. The acknowledgement, just acknowledge it. It's not like we're
yeah,
asking for you to feel sorry for us, but understand this. You
yeah,
need to
like,
understand this. Like, there is a racial divide. I don't care
period.
where you're, period. So the fact that you're starting here and I'm starting here, and we have to get to
Hmm.
the same place, and you don't understand the struggle that I have had to go through is
Yeah,
wild. Even just speaking between men and women. Like, I feel like a lot of men now are more accepting of women and their feminine issues, as well as men, like things like menopause and just menstruating and things like that. And now women are also being recognizing of the burden that men carry on their back every day that we don't have to
yeah.
carry. So it's just about acknowledgement. That's all you have to do. Just
That's
acknowledge
all.
it.
That's all that's being asked. I think once you do that, then
Yeah.
you can move on from it. You can say, okay, all right, cool, we get that, and then we put a stop to the other stupid shit that's going on, and
And then
then
you can start a
keep it
healthy
pushing.
conversation and have a healthy dynamic and coexist without having such anger
Yeah,
and hatred. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm angry and hatredful towards you because you treated me like, like a certain way, and it's like, you don't even know me, bro, and I
And you're
know it's
just
because of
dismissing.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
Or it's because I'm a
it
woman
sucks.
and you think I'm stupid, and the things that men say to you as a woman sometimes is like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, we all go through those experiences. I'm just using that as an example. Like,
Yeah,
men that catcall women, and if we respond in a certain way, oh, you were ugly anyway. It's like, no, you disrespected me. Period. It doesn't matter if I was pretty or
yeah.
not.
I never understood that. I
You
used
just
to say dudes
disrespected me,
were
bro.
like,
I'm an
like,
adult.
yo, let me holler at you, and then they'd be like, man, fuck you, bitch, you was ugly anyway. Like, bro, what are you talking about? You was just chasing her.
Yeah, and then if I
So because
respond
she
like your
shut you down,
mama, then I'm the one who's wrong.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I used to like. Only thing I would ask, I would like to see more women, you know, doing that to dudes. You know what I mean? Because some of us like that shit. You know what I'm
What?
saying? Some of us like
Well,
that shit.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, brothers like to feel appreciated too. But hey, damn, sexy. Like, well, thank you. I've been doing squats.
Yes,
I've been
there is a
in the gym
page where
squatting.
these
You
women
know what I'm saying?
catcall
Like,
men outside of their vehicle all day long. And I just
that's
want
hilarious to
to
me.
do that
That's
because it
nuts.
really puts a smile on their face. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that'll
Like,
make a dude feel good because you got to remember, we work so hard for female attention and really don't get the validation from the women that we're trying to gain attention from. Whereas women consistently get the attention, even when they don't want it. You know what I'm saying? This is why OnlyFans is so popular. This is why pornography is like, this is why, because it's just a thing. So
do you know the
men would like
statistics
to,
on OnlyFans?
I think it's like really high. Damn, what the fuck was that? Like really high. Give me the stats. I'd love to hear it.
I don't remember the exact statistic, but the
Yeah.
majority of people that are subscribers on OnlyFans
Oh,
are
men.
middle aged white men.
Of
Middle
course.
aged white men are looking at your children and daughters and these nasty women that you want to call it women of color, not women of color, are watching these young women, and
That's
you
insane.
call us the problem.
That's
You
insane.
know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. The percentage
That's
of
crazy.
women that are even on there are very young. They're in a
Hmm.
certain age group, and don't get me to lying. I'll double check those stats for the next time I'm on the show and this happens to come up. But I can tell you the average user and subscriber to OnlyFans is a middle aged white guy. And
That's
these are the
insane.
people that are running the free world right now.
This is
And
what's
that is
crazy,
why
right?
we have the problems we have right now.
I was killing time in the mall and checking one of the kiosks. Like, it's like, damn, I just killed a mosquito. That nigga was biting the fuck out of me.
We getting tore
And
up.
yeah, not really. I wouldn't feel it, but I just did this. But anyways, she got me to buy like a cologne or some shit, and she was like, "Yo, you're in my class." I'm like, "What class?" She tells me the class. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm in your class." I mean, I don't pay attention to people. I know how many people are in there, 89 of them. I know that. I know where most of them sit because they all sit in the same place. I know that. Don't really care to know you because I'm not here for that. She's like, "Oh yeah," and then when you're standing there and someone's having a conversation with you, and you have that inner monologue, and my inner monologue is she trying to come on to me? Like, this is the first that and then she's like, yeah, so like, maybe we could like meet up and like study. I'm like, she is coming on to me. And the first thing came out of my mouth was, "My daughter works right there." Like I was like, "My daughter works right there."
Like you're a kid. Stranger
Yeah, I was like, "My
danger.
daughter works right there," and she was like, "Your daughter?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a dad. My daughter works," and then
I'm a
she looked
dad
at me, and then
of an
she
adult.
realized, yeah, because she realized, and she was like, "Oh," and then she was like, "Which one?" Like she like retreated back, like, "Oh, which one?" I was like, she works right there at Ethan Jordan." And she was like, "Oh, the light skinned one. I could see it now. Yeah, the real pretty one." I'm like, "That's my baby. That's my baby." She's like, "Wow, like, how old are you?" Way too old. Way
Too
too
old
old.
to be having this conversation with you.
Like,
Have a good day.
good. I used, even when I was single, I used to say this shit. Like, I would have younger chicks like holler at me, and I'd be like, "Yo, look, man, you come to my house, my daughter gonna beat you up." You know what I'm saying? She gonna walk in the house. She like, "Yo, who the fuck are you?" You gonna be like, "Who the fuck are you?" And she's gonna chip you. Like, that's all it's gonna have. She's not gonna have any more conversation in her. It's just gonna be ping pong ping pong. Like you running your mouth too
She's
much.
not a talker. She's the
Yeah.
equalizer.
And then she finds out how old you are. Bing 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 bang. And then she gonna come at me and bing bang boom me too. All right.
Oh shit!
So,
Not you getting taken
like,
out.
yeah, I don't see the allure of looking at an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid. So for men to do that, that's weird to me. There's two things that bother me: really young females and midgets. Not attracted.
We are not doing this right now.
Why are niggas attracted to midgets? Is it because, like Deadpool says, it's just big in their hands? Is that what makes you feel proud of yourself?
Oh my
Is that
god.
what it is? It must be really big in her hands. Like, why are you attracted to something that looks like a child? I get it. They need love and affection too. Stick with, like, but it's just weird. Could you
Uh
date a
huh.
midget? A motherfucker that look like
Me
he's 6 years
personally,
old and
no.
he's like
Me
up,
personally,
up?
no. I'm just
Like,
not attracted to people that are shorter than me. I'm not saying you need to be 6 foot, but you need to be taller than me.
yeah, it's just,
I just prefer someone who's taller than me.
I just get the kid vibe when I see a little person or a midget or a dwarf or whatever you call it. Like, it bothers me. I'm not
Well, they're
saying it's
not little
wrong.
kids
I just said
though.
for
They're
me,
physically
I know,
small.
I know they're adults. I know, like, I'm not knocking anybody that does like dates them. That's fine. I just don't see the allure. Like, it's weird to me. It's just like I used to play this game. You know a chick is too young for you when she holds your hand to cross the street. She might be too young for you. You know a chick is too young for you to be fucking with when she asks you to put a nightlight on when you go to sleep.
Okay, some people are afraid of the dark.
No. You know a chick is too young for you when every 2 minutes she is on her phone recording what she's doing. You might
That's yeah,
you
that's
might be a little
aggressive.
too young. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
She
mean,
might
like
be too
it.
young for you if she can't take you to the bar.
Look, let me tell you something. I had this chick when I came. I was what 20 when I came on. I was what 20 when I bailed out. With 26, 27. She used to come to my tattoo parties, so I thought she was of age automatically, right? She used to come to my tattoo parties. Her mother came to our tattoo party. So I never thought anything different. I ran into her. She's like, "Oh shit, I ain't seen you in a minute. Heard you was live. Glad you home. We should chill." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, fine. I'm like, "Yo, I'm heading out to Manhattan tonight. We'll roll. This is like a Thursday night." She's like, "Nah, I got school tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh, college." My brain automatically shoots to college. I'm like, "Oh shit, what you majoring in?" She's like, "Huh?" I'm like, "You said you got school
General
tomorrow."
education.
Yeah. I'm like, "What's your major?" She was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "You said you got school tomorrow. So that means what you like in college?" She's like, "Nah. I'm in the 10th grade." I said, "Lose my number." Like, lose my number. Like, automatic.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
lose my number.
scary.
Like, I was like, lose my fucking number. And it
Yeah.
just bugged me out because I was like, yo, I was about to hang out with a kid. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. You was at my crib, you got tattoos. Your mother was. So then I had to really like, oh, your mom ain't shit. Your mom's ain't shit.
Hmm.
How did I miss that? That your mother ain't that means when you were at my crib getting a tattoo, you had to be 13, 14. That's insane to me. That's insane.
I knew
As
someone
a
in
parent,
middle school that had their tongue pierced.
my daughter got her tongue pierced at 14. I was ready to fucking body slam her mother.
Well,
And I
yeah, I mean,
and
that
as
was,
a
she was,
dad, I kept it 100 with her. Like she didn't understand why I was so pissed off, and I had to explain to her. I said we had a conversation about men sagging their pants and what that's synonymous with. And she's like, yeah, I remember you told me came from prison and saying that you were sexually available. And when you see somebody sagging their pants, that's what they say. And I said, okay, that's what that's synonymous with. A tongue ring, especially on a young girl, usually says that she's sexually active and she's giving out sloppy toppy. Like she's saying she's sucking dick. And my daughter was like, "That's crazy." I said, "I'm just letting you know." She's like, "Dad, I don't know why you would think." And but we had these conversations. She's like,
but
"Baby, I don't know why
a
you."
lot of grown people would think that.
Right, and that's why I'm
And
trying to
that's
tell her
when you
like
have to
it's
come to that
sending a
harsh
message.
reality.
Right,
As
and
a
I'm telling her
kid, that
it's sending a
perception is
message.
everything.
And that's what I told her. This is sending a message to other boys in your school and older men that you're sexually active. And that's what I don't want that message to give off. And she's like, but I'm not like that. I said, baby, I'm not saying like that. I don't want you to think that. What I'm saying is this is the message that you're giving. She said, well, mom said that she got her tongue pierced at my age. And I said, I know, I paid for it. And why do you think I did it? Because she was sucking my dick. Like, let's just keep it honest, right? Like, what? This is what it is. I didn't say that to my daughter, but I
I
said,
know. I
why do you
know.
think I pay for it? And I let her infer that on her own. You know what I'm saying?
Figure it
But
out.
what
Yes.
I'm saying is like, it bothers me. So when, as a parent, you gotta protect your kids. Like, don't let them grow up too fast. Like, I see these little girls, like certain parents that let their little girls wear certain clothing is just not for you at 12, 13. It's
Yeah,
just
I
not
see
for you.
12-year-old ass cheeks hanging out all the time now, and it
That's
makes
not
me
cool.
uncomfortable.
That's not cool. My boy at the time, his daughter, she was 13. She was like, he was like, nah, ask your uncle if you could get a two-piece bikini. She's like, I said, the hell you can't. I'm gonna go get you this Dora the Explorer joint one piece. The fuck you think this is? Fuck around, you're gonna get a whole full body suit in a minute. Stop playing. Like it's just certain things you gotta let them progress. When you're giving your 12-year-old acrylic nails and eyelashes and letting them put on makeup, you're saying that you want her to grow up too fast. She's not able to be a child. I don't respect that. I don't agree with it. But it's your child and you can do what you want. But remember, later on, you might have to deal with some problems. But that's on you.
Yeah.
Let your child be a child. My mom let me be a kid. Was I aware? Absolutely. I was aware that we were poor. I was aware we didn't have certain things that we couldn't get. But she let me be a kid. It's not until I got around my pops, I didn't have a choice. I had to grow up. I grew up way too fast. I went from being on the porch going la 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 to oh my god, what's up, my nigga? Like real fast. You know what I'm saying? Like it was really fast and it
Yeah.
sucked. But most kids don't have to go through that, and it's your job to protect them from that. Why would you have your daughter dressing a certain way? Why would you have your son doing things that's beyond the scope of their age? Let them be kids, man. And if that what that looks like is them not having cell phones at 12, 11, or yeah they do but their access is supremely limited. Like you gotta give them a small window
Well,
that they
even
can
still, your kid just shouldn't be somewhere that they can't have access to call you.
yeah. I mean, but we grew up like that.
Yeah, we did. Like, call your mom when you get home, let her know you're
Yeah,
alive.
when you get in the house, let
That's
me know
it.
you home, boy. That's it. Don't let nobody in this goddamn house when I'm on fucking. When you close the door, you lock the door, don't open the door for nobody. Okay, man. There's food in the fridge. Warm the shit up. Do your goddamn homework. Clean this bathroom.
Figure it
Vacuum the
out.
damn living room and take your ass to sleep before I get home. Yes, ma'am. That's it. But you can't get that now, and it just sucks. I'm just really worried about all of that, and and I hate when you see the other thing that bothers me is everybody is real, right? Everybody real. Yo, I keep that shit real. Yo, I'm about that.
Hmm.
I'm this. I'm that, bro. When is real just stupid? Like I'll put me on the docket for being so real. I was a stupid motherfucker. I was in the I was in the military. Like think about this, right? I am I am a military member. I have the ability to go and get a weapons permit, a carry concealed, all of that. My dumb ass got two illegal guns. Why? Why? Just just why? Because I'm such a real ass nigga. This is how I was thinking when I was younger. I'm such a real ass nigga. Yeah, I got the 45 on me. Why I do my nigga? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm in the military, but I still keep the strap on me. I could have done the exact same thing and my shit be legal. Didn't even think about it. Never crossed my mind. Do you know how stupid that is? Do you
Oh, I'm
realize
aware.
how insanely dumb that is? So a lot of cats are doing stuff and they're like, yeah, man, I'm real. Bro, I've seen it. I've seen cats in the military boost this. I'm real. I'm from this neighborhood. I'm this and the third. You can do this legally and it can still be okay. Like I don't have to run from police because I got this gun on me because my shit is legal. Cops pull up. Who's it? Hey man, I have a weapon on me. It's registered. Here's in my back pocket. You can reach it, get it. Instead of me go, shit, they coming to get me. And then the cops go, you in the military? You a stupid motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they coming. I toss the gun. Like, this is dumb. Like,
Hmm.
we do so many stupid things because we think the validation of others means something. And it means nothing. And it took me years to understand that. So that
That's an adult
now
lesson.
yeah, now I just don't give a fuck. Motherfucker will be like, yo, you really gonna, yep, yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that
Here's where I want to
motherfucker
be,
put his
and this
hands
is
on
where I'm
me.
gonna
I'm
go.
telling, yeah, I'm telling. I'm telling, I'm pressing charges, I'm suing. I want you to understand this shit is gonna get dark for you. I'm not gonna be the old me and getting my niggas. Nah. I'm gonna get my niggas I they call Jacobson and Martinson. So it's my legal people. They're coming for you, all right? You've been
You're a
served.
hot mess.
Like I'm telling you, you've been served. So go ahead and try me if you want. Hit me. I don't care. Hit me. This is a good lesson for you to learn. You going to jail. I'm gonna get paid. You gonna be gone, and I'm gonna be all right. Because I'm not this trying to keep it
Outside
real and
chilling.
be a super thug. I'm not. I got two fights left in me, two real good ones left in me. That's all I got. That's it.
I
That's it.
hate you.
And they probably tie into each other. Like one fight is to probably put my hands on the motherfucker that put their hands on my daughter if that ever happened. But I don't
Well,
think
that
it's gonna
doesn't
happen
count.
because
Yeah,
if he
that's
put his hands on
natural.
her, she'll end up whooping his ass first. So now I'm gonna have to whoop his ass second. And then the second fight is really just to get motherfuckers up off me because I know that's gonna bring some shit. These young niggas is crazy. These
Uh
young
huh.
niggas is crazy. These little niggas is nuts. Like
I believe it.
I thought I was a little crash out when I was younger. These young niggas is dumb. These motherfuckers will go after you broad daylight. They don't care. Police could be parked right down the street. They wilding you up. Fuck these
Exactly.
kids, man.
Fuck
Your
these
mama should have
kids.
swallowed your ass. That's what I say.
Stop it.
It's the truth. Some of these kids, mama should have swallowed them and let them fall on the fucking carpet. But I
Oh my
digress.
God,
Where your
Jason.
shot at? You better have something to drink. It's time for shots in the
I got a
goddamn
little
cold.
swig left.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to say thank you, Nikki, for just stopping by and entertaining us, man. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
stepping in for MIK. He might be fired after this. I don't know. He might want to watch his
I mean,
job.
if he's
Might
fired,
be fired.
I mean,
He might
I'll submit
just
my
be fired.
application.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But my shot, my quote for the day is real is always accepted when being genuine is real. And I think that's the problem. Be genuine. You don't gotta keep it real for the look. Just be genuine. Be you. Be who you are, and you'll be fine.
Hmm.
So real is always accepted when genuine is real. So until next time, my friends, stay black because that's all you can do, man. Salute. I am Trinidad and Tobago's son, New York City's nephew, Carter Young. You want to say out? You got to say out.
I'm the guest speaker for the day. My name's Nicole, nothing special.
man. And this has been darling Nikki popping up for us and giving us some love, man. Thank you once again, Nikki. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. All right.
Yay.
I'm Carter Young. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for showing up, man. I'm gonna see y'all later. All right. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, do all of that. Y'all still ain't do nothing for questions for Carter. I'm feeling some type of way. But I'm gonna see y'all next week, man. Love y'all. All right.